Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. I have two blended Scotch whiskeys. They're both 40% alcohol. One is sort of well-known. One is, well, it depends where you live. I mean, WD Scotch is actually well-known in Louisiana. I didn't say well-regarded. I said well-known. It's a pretty inexpensive product. Well, basically the cheapest Scotch you'll be able to find in Louisiana. And it lives up to that point, I have to admit. Got a nice label with the clipper ship, pen and ink drawing. It's got a comical label that says imported from Scotland, which makes total sense since it's Scotch whiskey. It might go back to 1955 when Winn-Dixie was founded. It's a private label. And it's handled by the Sazerac Company for Winn-Dixie under their Wide World Liquors Importers division, Wide World Importers. And from more research, it seems like there's a special team for them, probably for the distributor. And if you read about Republic National, they have a connection to Sazerac throughout history. But anyway, although that broke down with a recent lawsuit, I think they switched their well, I don't know. It's complicated, and I don't want to get into it. I don't even care, as long as they show up in the store. There was a breakdown there, but all the years growing up, I remember this at Mardi Gras parade parties, birthday parties, things like that. I paid no mind to it, or the Winn-Dixie bourbon, or the Winn-Dixie gin, or the Winn-Dixie vodka, etc. I didn't pay any mind to it. I just knew it was there because people bought it because it was cheap. No big deal. But I figured it exists. It's on the shelf. Let's see how bad could it really be. I found out. Okay, here is Chivas Regal 13. This is the special Manchester United bottle from 5 years ago. Well, they had some left over at Savannah Discount, and they were selling these for $9.99. But if you look at the price online, it's well over $40, well over $40. So to find a $40 plus whiskey for $9.99 is quite an achievement. But we didn't do anything to achieve it, except we dropped into a Savannah Discount, and it happened to be on the shelf. Well, I did, and I told my friend David about it. He immediately went there. I should have picked him up a bottle, but I just wasn't thinking along those lines. But he immediately went over there and bought a few bottles. He actually bought a bunch of bottles to give as gifts. So you give it as a Christmas gift. People say, "Oh man!" Then they go check and say, "I got to pay $45 for that." They don't need to know you got it for $9.99. Needless to say, for that price, the bottles did not last very long on the shelf. So if you waited a week, you didn't get any. All right, it's got a foil cap cover. It's just a twist cap. It's not a fancy, cork bottle. Just a plastic twist cap. Chivas Regal is not exactly the most expensive blended Scotch whiskey, but it's one of the oldest. Goes back to 1801. Theoretically, well, at least the company's history, but more like 1909, and then Prohibition came and it went away, and then they brought it back after Prohibition, and they rebranded it as a 12-year age. It used to be a 25-year age, but they do have a Chivas Regal 25-year, and that's not going to be $40-something. That's it. Well, let's look at it like this: you can get the $35 bottle of Chivas Regal 12. And then you can start getting higher, and then you can find yourself paying $300, $400, $500, $600 per bottle. They go into the $600, $700 bottles. But these are very limited, obviously limited edition bottles. So no, there's no small batch WD blended whiskey. Okay, there's this, and that's it. Don't know where it comes from. Sazerac does not own distilleries in Scotland. They just get people to make the stuff for them. Common practice. $16.99 right now. I'll show you the website in a minute. Come on. Now, there's a lot of different Chivas Regal 13. They started, like I said, in 2019 with this United States only special edition rye cask, American rye cask. A portion of this whiskey is aged in American rye cask. Most of it is not. A portion of it gives a little, a little tweak to the flavor, just like the Mitsunara oak. A portion of that is aged in Japanese oak. It gives it a tweak. I'm sorry, that bottle's gone. But they kept expanding their rye cask selection. I'll show you the website in a minute. And then they got rum cask, bourbon cask, I think tequila cask. You know how that goes. No, I mean. Okay. So the Chivas has like a copper appearance, and the WD has a straw appearance. Doesn't look like they're adding any coloring. Not for ethical reasons, but it's probably because they don't want to spend the extra $1.50 per batch to add coloring. It's that cheap already, so why spend extra for coloring when no one's going to care anyhow? Phil says, hello from Reunion Island, Jay. Cheers with Bushmills Green Label. Oh, I never had that one. Cheers to you, Phil. That's a French Indian Ocean Department, overseas collectivity. Reunion, part of the French Empire, which extends to New Caledonia. Well, maybe not for long, but over there, Wallis and Futuna Island, in the French Pacific Ocean territories, French Polynesia, Mayotte Island in the Indian Ocean, French Guyana in South America, French Guiana, Martinique, Guadeloupe Islands, Saint Martin, Saint Bartholomew, over there by Canada, the only remaining French Canadian territory, Saint Pierre and Miquelon. That's what's left of New France. But sometimes you win a war, sometimes you lose. Okay, but anyway, they had a tendency to lose a bunch. But anyway, cheers, Phil. Thanks for watching. Philippe. Bienvenue. Bonjour. Okay, but it's probably getting late in the evening over there. Late in the evening. Okay. Oh, now let's look at the what. Okay, so. Oh, don't forget about Corsica Island in the Mediterranean, another part of the French global network. Okay, Winn-Dixie Scotch whiskey, 28.6 ounces, makes no sense. Over 59 ounces, I don't know where they got that from. Maybe they can't add. 1,750 milliliters, $16.99 till the end of August. Can you believe it? Okay. Chivas Discover. Oh, Chivas Regal Extra. See, they changed the bottle. That's the standard bottle, but the one I have is the Manchester United edition honoring 13 league championships for Manchester Football Club soccer. Okay. People drinking it and they're all happy. A portion finished in American rye cask. How long did they let it age? Oh, probably 3-4 months in rye cask. All right. Is it a profound difference? No, I wouldn't go that far. It's a like I said early in the video, a slight tweak. Our new collection is exceptional Scotch with diverse, internationally inspired flavors. Sandy Hillsop, Master Blender. He is the Master Blender. There's your flavor notes. To read all that, y'all can read that as time permits if you ever care. Now you see there's the bourbon cask selection. Well, they just take the same product. That's the same exact product, and they're tweaking it with barrels, or they say casks. We say barrels. Rye casks. There's one tequila cask, and so forth. You see, so now who's tequila? This we will never know. Who's will never know. Who's bourbon? This no. And it probably doesn't really matter because you just get bourbon flavor, juiced in. I like to try all these. Oh yes, obviously. I never will try them all. Might try some more. If I go back to Savannah Discount and they have another one for $9.99, obviously I will buy it immediately. I don't go there too often. It's like an hour away through all the traffic. It's a long way just by driving distance, but it makes it longer because you got to drive through many stoplights and everything. It's a long way through the city. This smells like pretty rich Scotch, pretty good quality Scotch, and you got that little rye cask. Well, I love rye whiskey, but I'll tell you the truth. Let's go over here. Oh, yikes. That smells like really cheap Scotch with a weird caramel aroma. So that's obviously the Winn-Dixie. WD Liquors blended Scotch, or as they also call it, Winn-Dixie blended Scotch. Got to be it. And it is. I guessed it on aroma only. I know I didn't look at the tags. I don't need to. I know the Chivas is darker. Chivas Brothers. They also make a lot of other whiskeys, Scotch whiskeys. You probably heard of well, of course, Chivas Regal, a famous whiskey, their flagship. Used to be a lot more expensive. If you watch the movie The Exorcist, the two Jesuit priests are talking in the dormitory, and he says, "Where'd you get the Chivas?" He's impressed, He said, "I stole it." And he said, "I did." He's kidding around. But back in 1973, it would have been like $75 a bottle in our money. Just regular Chivas Regal 12 years, like $75. And so if you had that, you had something, But then the price went down. Now it's, like I said, about $35. And it used to be higher proof, though. Back in the 90s, Michael Komaroff's got a bottle from like about 95, whatever, and it's 86 proof. It used to be 86, 86.6, but they dropped it to 80. That probably was part of it. Yeah, watered it down, They also own Passport Scotch, Hunter Piper's, Seagram's 100 Piper Scotch. Not called Seagram's in the United States, just called Hunter Piper Scotch, and it's bottled by Heaven Hill. I don't know what kind of deal they worked out, but they obviously worked out a deal. They've got Royal Salute, which will cost you a pretty penny. I tried some of that at the London airport, Heathrow. I didn't ask to try it. I was just looking around, and a girl said, "Oh, sir, would you like to try Royal Salute, 21 years aged?" I was like, yeah. And it was dynamite, That's the special Chivas. They only make that once a year, and it costs a fortune, Mathern's has it, but I'm not paying $300, whatever they charge them. But they got, like I said, they got cheap ones like Passport and Hunter Piper's, which is relatively inexpensive, and I'm not going to talk about all of them. Just look it up on their website. Just type in chivasbrothers.com, and it'll show you all of them. They got single malts too. Well, let's look at it. Heck, won't take long. Okay, Aberfeldy, I think, is their main single malt that they use. Welcome to our world. Okay, there's, oh yeah, there's an old distillery. Then they talk about the brands, See, they got Valentine's. I know where to buy that. They make all kind of different brands. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Okay, what is that? Not who is that? What is that? Okay, Valentine's. Oh, that's just special movies. Light 20 degrees. I don't understand this concept of buying a light whiskey. People do it. Valentine's 7-year age, 12-year age, wild berry flavor. Everybody's doing wild berry flavor. Valentine's Brazil spirit drink. That's some kind of flavored drink. Barrel smooth. Valentine's Glenbergie, 15-year age. Milton Duff, 15-year age. Glen Torture's 15-year age. Glenbergie, 18-year. Now, big time money. Year, 21-year, 23-year, 3-year. I mean, I looked at the price for that one. I was like amazed, like you would pay it that much for one bottle, but people do it. Then you got Royal Salute, like I said, the Glenlivet. That's part of Glenlivet. Something special, right? That's more like they sell that in India. Aber, you've heard of Aberlour, single malt. I don't know what's wrong with their website. It's not coming up, but I know it's Passport. Oh well, I'm not going to fight with it. Okay, sometimes they got little problems. Glenlivet, I've got some of that. Or don't have any of that. Scapa Distillery, never been there. Never been to any of these. Strathyla, Lynn House. Ooh, gotcha. You might need some good credit for these. All right, enough of that. All right, so you can see they have a bunch of stuff. They recruit you to work there, life at Chivas Brothers, how wonderful, which it might be. Not discounting that. There's a rabbit showing it in the winter. Okay, get the picture. Big company, lot of production. I should have bought that Passport Scotch when I had the chance, and I didn't. Now they don't sell it at Dormax anymore. Oh well. I'll find it somewhere. Can't complain about Chivas Regal. Does it have a sugar water flavor? It has it, but it's got so much more with it. The barrel, the oak, the rye cask, that rye whiskey. I love. It's got that menthol from the rye, which I love. Oh man, I think they added. I get the impression they might have added a year on this. You know what I mean? Like they might have taken some of their whiskey from the barrel and aged it in a rye cask for a year and then put it back in. Wouldn't make it a 14-year age because you got to go with the youngest age. Even if you had all the whiskey at 13 and you aged some of it at 14, it wouldn't turn it into a 14-year age. It would still be 13. Anytime you see an age statement on a whiskey bottle, that's telling you that's the youngest whiskey in the mix. So the youngest whiskey in here is 13-year age. That's the youngest one. It's 13. And I believe this is a 2019 bottle. So that would be no younger than 2006 at the time of bottling. All right, so that's a great product, man. I love it, especially for $9.99, which is the most amazing price in the world. Now this thing, oh my goodness. Woo. Daryl Macia says, good morning, Ronald. Good morning to you, Daryl. Well, come on, Sazerac. I mean, y'all can do great stuff. What is this? But I know what they would say on the phone. They would say, what do you expect? It's $16.99. You thought it was going to be the best whiskey in the world? I mean, I know that's what they would say. It's just a budget store brand Scotch. It's not going to be anything elaborate. My internet is cutting in and out. I'm not noticing it. Usually I'll get an alert. Sure it's not on your end? Because usually I'll get an alert, immediately an alert on this saying there's internet problems. But I haven't gotten any alerts. I mean, you do get some oak. I'll admit that. Get some oak. I'll admit it. But then you get this weird caramel candy, which is not proper. Do you get peat? Nope. Do you get smoke? Absolutely not. Do you get anything besides sugar water, caramel, and wood oak? Not really. It's as basic as they come. You say, well, it's the cheapest, $16.99 for a handle. What do you expect? Well, I got news for you though. Albertsons, which is okay, 36 miles away, but I mean, I'll go through Hammond sometime. Albertsons got, well, the last time I was there, and they run those sales often. Albertsons has Highland Mist blended Scotch whiskey for the same price. And it's a much better product. Highland Mist is much nicer than this. So you can't really say that. You can get Highland Mist. I'm not saying Highland Mist is anything fabulous, because it certainly isn't, but it's not bad. It's much better than this thing. I mean, that thing. Let's finish up. Nice stuff. Any complaints? Well, it's a little on the sweet side, but it's good. It's a good flavor. And I wouldn't get tired of drinking it. Like I said, I would prefer it's a little drier, less sweet, but it's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's nice. Definite A, about A, 93, 94, something like that. This thing here, now, can't get it above a 72. So the score for this thing is low average, 72, C minus. It'll never go higher, and it'll never win a taste challenge in this series. Got about a week left on it. So yeah, it's a bummer, but that's what happens. So next time around, I'll do some other more credible blended Scotch. I have Legacy from the same company, Sazerac, but Legacy's a national brand. It's not some store brand. It's going to be a lot better. I'm pretty sure. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye. Thank you.